is here on the Minnehaha County and City of Sioux Falls Planning Commission meetings. Roll call vote for the county, Jeff Barth,
Aye.
Adam Morehauser,
Present.
Doug Odie, Mike Ralston, Vicki Randall, Bonnie Duffy. City side?
Perfect, thank you. Good evening, City Commissioners. We'll do a roll call on the city side as well. Commissioner Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Kidams,
Yes.
Commissioner Lukey,
Here.
Commissioner Nisus,
Yes.
Commissioner Paulson.
Present.
We have a quorum on the city side.
Madam Chair, just a point of information. I think we, since they're all on the phone also, we need to go identify ourselves who's speaking each time. So, and this is Jeff.
Motion and second, please state who you are. Good evening. I call to order this regular joint meeting of the Minnehaha County and Sioux Falls Planning Commissions. And I will begin with a few introductory comments. As a courtesy to everyone in the meeting room tonight, please make sure that all cell phones are turned off. Please note that tonight's Planning Commission meeting will be recorded live and available for viewing by members of the public afterwards on the www.minnehahacounty.org site. In observance of the CDC guidelines for social distancing, tonight's meeting is taking place simultaneously within the County Commission meeting room and virtually within a Zoom meeting room online. In the Zoom meeting room, each individual user on the line will be on mute to maintain communication clarity for everyone. Every item listed on the agenda will be read separately. If any member of the public wishes to be heard on an item, you may raise your hand while I read the item description. If hands are raised, we will follow our normal hearing procedure by requesting planning staff to present a report on each item, and then request the petitioner to come to the podium and make a statement or answer any questions. Anyone from the audience wishing to address the item shall be recognized by planning staff in the order hands were raised, and state your name and address for the record. The Planning Commission meeting will then discuss the matter and take appropriate action. First item on the agenda is public input. Is there anyone who wishes to speak on an item that is not on the agenda? Please raise your hand, and if you're attending remotely, staff will call on you and I'll mute you to microphone for any comments.
No hands are raised.
Thanks, David. Item number 1 on the agenda is the minutes from the February 22nd Joint Planning Commission meeting. Are there any comments or changes to the minutes?
This is Jeff. A motion to approve the minutes.
Adam Morehauser, I'll second that.
A motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes of the February 22nd meeting. Roll call vote. Jeff?
Aye.
Adam?
Aye.
Doug? Mike?
Aye.
Becky? Aye. Approved on the county side.
Commissioners, the February 22nd minutes have been approved on the county side. Do I have a motion on the city side?
Move to approve the minutes, Johnson. Lukey, second.
Motion and a second. We'll also do a roll call vote. Commissioner Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Kidams,
Yes.
Commissioner Lukey,
Yes.
Commissioner Nisus,
Yes.
Commissioner Paulson. Commissioner Paulson,
Yes.
the minutes have been approved on the city side.
Thank you. Okay, items number 2 through 4 are conditional use permits. Any final action taken on the conditional use permit tonight will take effect 5 working days following this meeting unless a written appeal of the Planning Commission's decision is filed in the Planning Office by Monday, March 29th at 5 p.m. In the event of an appeal, the decision will be referred to the Joint County Commission and City Council for a hearing on Tuesday, April 27th, 2021, at or after 5 p.m. That meeting is held in Carnegie Town Hall at 235 West 10th Street. Next, I will continue the description of item number 2, and if anyone wishes to comment, now would be the time to raise your hand. Item number 2 is conditional use permit 21-24 to transfer one building eligibility from the west half, the north half, southwest quarter. There is an exception. The east 430 feet, and accept the west 212 feet, the east 642 feet, and the exception of Tract 1, Westwood Valley Second Edition, to the south half, the southwest quarter. Another exception, R-1, and accept Klein's Tract 1A and Tract 2A, and accept the east 1,360 feet, and accept Tract 2, Westwood Valley Second Edition, all in Section 28, Township 101 North, Range 50 West. Petitioner is Rick Dunlap. This is about a half mile west of Sioux Falls.
Good
Kevin?
evening, Kevin Hookman, County Planning Department. This item is a transfer of building eligibility, and I'll try to be quick with the staff report. In the transfer request is a move of building eligibility from one property to an existing former farmstead. The county staff and city planning staff are both recommending approval. The city staff recommended in their comment letter that they wanted a condition to access the driveway off of Lena Drive rather than the highway. As you can see, there's an existing driveway in the farmstead that comes off of 41st Street. That can cause problems if in the future when 41st Street expands into the city and having right in, right out kind of issues and having extra traffic. My screen just went blank. The city staff has been working with the petitioner on this, and although we recommended 2 conditions originally, there has been a little bit of a change in conditions, and I think the city staff has those conditions to bring up that might work better for both the city and for the petitioner. So here's city.
Albert Schmidt, City of Sioux Falls Planning and Development Services. So in your staff report, there's 2 conditions. Staff has worked with the applicant to try to look long-term at a solution that'll work best for them then and now to try to make it so it's easy to work forward through this process. The only change we're recommending is in item number 2, which currently reads, access for the new building eligibility site needs to connect to the abutting South Lana Drive. We'd like to replace that with 2 additional stipulations. The new number 2 would say removal and relocation of 44th Street exit or access with redevelopment. So again, removal and relocation of 41st Street access with redevelopment. And then number 3 would be provide a mutual access easement for the 2 properties around this area, 46-810 and 46-816, 267th Street with redevelopment. With these new stipulations, we feel that in the meanwhile, the eligibility can be put there, a house can be put in place, but we've talked with the developer and the owner on this about the long-term goal of this, and realistically, it's redevelopment of this site, and we just want to make sure that with redevelopment, those accesses get pushed in the right spot so that the taxpayers of the county and the city don't have to pay for relocating those accesses at that time. Thank you.
Is the petitioner here? Will you please come forward and state your name and address?
Rick Dunlap, 46-810 267th Street.
And you're aware of the changes that the city has made, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, our goal is, I'm one of the owners of the development. I grew up in the farmhouse, and I want to move a building eligibility. My son is going to move into the old farmhouse, and potentially I may build a house for my daughter. I live in the middle right now. Our goal is, as the city grows out that way, Lana is our last sewerable street. So our sewer is going to come from the northwest, so we're going to develop from 22nd back to 41st Street. So we roughly have 600 acres there to develop before we get back to 41st Street. Our goal would be, Eventually, the gravel road there is going to be the next mile, and so we'll turn these acreages into commercial property when we redevelop, so those would disappear. Could be potentially 25 to 35 years down the road.
Any questions for him? Not at this time. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak to this item?
No hands are raised.
Okay. Commissioners?
We've got a long night ahead of us. Let's move forward here, and since no one is objecting to this, I'll make a motion to favor it. This is Jeff.
Okay.
Madam Chair, Doug Odie will make a second on item 2, conditional use permit 21-24.
I have a motion and second to approve conditional use permit 21-24. Any further questions? Any
Madam
further-
Chair,
Go ahead.
this is Kurt Johnson on the city side. Does that include the 3 conditions that the city staff mentioned?
Yes. He's aware of that.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You bet. I do have a motion and a second, and it's a roll call vote. Jeff Barth?
Aye.
Adam? Doug?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Becky? Aye. Motion's been approved on the county side. City side?
Hi, City Commissioners. Conditional use permit 2124 has passed on the county side, and that is subject to a couple of conditions that you have on paper, as well as a couple of revisions. Do I have a motion on the city side?
This is Lukey. I'll make a motion with the 3 conditions.
Second, Johnson.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion on the city side?
Mr. Chair, Lukey, just want to say this is just a normal transfer from one same property owner to another parcel, and makes sense to me, and it's great that they're thinking about their future and preparing for it.
Thank you, Commissioner Lukey. Anybody else? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Commissioner Irvin?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kidams?
Yes.
Commissioner Lukey?
Yes.
Commissioner Nisus?
Yes.
Commissioner Paulson?
Yes.
The conditional use permit has passed on the city side.
That item has been approved. You're free to go. We'll move on to item number 3, conditional use permit 21-25 to exceed 1,600 square feet of total accessory building area, requesting 2,212 square feet on the property legally described as Lot 2, Block 2, Country Acres Edition, Section 31, Township 101 North, Range 50 West. The petitioner is Anthony Anderson. He's also the property owner, 3 miles west of Sioux Falls. Kevin?
Good evening again. This item is a request to have an accessory building greater than 1,600 square feet total, as the property is only 1 acre in size. The request is for 2,212 feet. The petitioner is planning on adding approximately, or 12 feet to the north of the garage, or the front of the garage toward the driveway, and 9 feet on the east side of the garage towards the side yard. The petitioner will meet required setbacks, although the line on that particular map looks a little off, because the required setback is 3 feet. Petitioner plans on staying back 5 feet from the property line. Both the county and the city has reviewed this item and has recommended approval. And the county has recommended approval with the 7 conditions listed. And I can take any questions from there.
Kevin? Guess not. Is the petitioner here? Will you please step forward and state your name and address?
My name is Anthony Anderson. I live at 46625 Prairie Drive, Sioux Falls.
Any questions for him?
Madam Chair,
Go ahead, Doug.
can I call you Tony?
Anytime.
Have the neighbors had any concern about what you're doing, or have they been made aware of it?
They have been made aware. My next door neighbor, whose trees are right there, I talked to him just the other day, and he said, good luck.
Anyone else have any further questions? Okay. Anyone else care to speak to this item?
No hands are raised.
Okay. Commissioners?
Madam Chair, this is Jeff. Inasmuch, again, as there is no opposition on this, I make a motion to approve.
This is Becky, I second.
Okay, I have a motion and second to approve conditional use permit 21-25. Roll call vote. Jeff Barth?
Aye.
Adam?
Aye.
Doug?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Becky?
Aye.
It has been approved on the county side. City side?
City Commissioners, conditional use permit 2125 has been passed, subject to 7 conditions on the county side. Any motions to approve on the city side?
This is Lukey. I'll make a motion for approval with the 7 conditions.
Johnson, second.
Motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion on this one, Commissioners? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Commissioner Irvin? Yes. Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kidams?
Yes.
Commissioner Lukey?
Yes.
Commissioner Nisus?
Yes.
Commissioner Paulson?
Yes.
The conditional use permit has passed on the city side.
Thank you. Since it has been approved, you're free to go. Thank you.
Very much appreciated.
Move on to item number 4, conditional use permit 21-19 to allow sand and gravel mining on the properties legally described as the west half, the southeast quarter. There is an exception, H-1, and the southeast quarter, another exception, H-1, and the south half, the northwest quarter, and a portion of the southwest quarter, northeast quarter, all in Section 17, Township 101 North, Range 50 West. Petitioner Jim Soukup, property owner, Crusher Investment Company, 1 mile west of Sioux Falls. David?
Good evening, Commission. David Heinold, County Planning Department. So conditional use permit 21-19 is to allow sand and gravel mining. The property is outlined in red. As you can see, it's just north of South Dakota State Highway 42 on the west side of Sioux Falls. And I'm just going to go through the petitioner's request. You can kind of see the site plan on the map there that shows the hashed area that would be the proposed sand and gravel mining area. In the application, there's listed that there's a 200-foot wide gas pipeline easement through there, which no mining would occur in that area. There is a little bit of floodplain on the east side, but it appears that the site plan kind of barely touches that a little bit. It's further towards the southeast to the site plan image here. There are no residences within the 1,000-foot setback, which is required by the zoning ordinance for the joint jurisdiction. As you can, should back up 1 second there. As you can see to the southwest of the area, shaded with the hashed area, there's an existing rural residential development subdivision of about 60 to 70 some houses. And then to the east, there's a growing area with residential to the inside city limits, and then as well as south of the state highway too. And then the remainder of land around that is, to the south is mostly agricultural, and to the north is existing sand and gravel mining with some lakes and some reclaimed areas as well. Just going through some of the pictures that I took, there's kind of take you on a tour of the site. The petitioner included on the site plan as far as proposed access to the site off the state highway, which is to be used as one of the proposed haul routes for the operation. This is looking straight north towards where that sand and gravel mining area would occur, off in the distance. And this is looking towards the northeast. As you can see, the white rooftops off in the distance there, that's the housing development to the east of that floodplain area. And then this is looking back south towards one of the properties, residential properties, and then agricultural fields to the south beyond the tree belt. This is from the north side on Sand Street, which is also one of the other proposed haul routes for the operation, which would take the haul route to the east towards what is Ellis Road or the county highway, that would be the secondary haul route access. This is taken a little bit further west. I believe this is a little bit further west of that driveway. This is looking back down towards the southwest of Sand Street, towards there's a existing acreage to the west of 467th Avenue, the Township Road. This is looking to the northwest. As you can see, 467th Avenue is in the background there, and Sand Street is where I'm standing. And so this is looking to the south of, you can kind of see the tree belt there. So the existing residential development would be on the south side of the tree belt, where those homes are, over 1,000 feet away from where the proposed area would be. One thing I would mention, the application listed in the narrative as far as providing buffers for screening for proposed landscape, or the berms and landscaping, did mention using that existing tree belt on there, but staff recommends that the applicant put in the berm on their property, not using the adjacent property, their berm, using their landscaping. Just of note. This is looking towards I believe this is the location of where that, kind of where the gas pipeline easement would go. No, back up a second. This is just one of the site photos there. I think further on down the line, I'll show you a picture of the pipeline there. So this, back up. This is just showing Sand Street to the east of where the proposed haul route access would be. And then this is looking to the north where the existing sand and gravel mining areas are. And then just continuing on to the east on Sand Street, just showing the haul route access there. And then this is one of the existing operations of sand and gravel to the north of that site. And then right here is where the gas pipeline easement would be. And then I'll flip it around and it should show looking to the northwest there where that pipeline is currently located. And then a couple more photos of the site. This is just showing that pipeline, again, that location. So both the city and the county do recommend approval of the conditional use permit request. There was one additional condition that was recommended to be added as far as the floodplain area that would exist, is getting a floodplain development permit for any work that would be done in that area. The staff does recommend approval of the conditional use permit 21-19 with a total of 23 conditions. And I'll answer any questions if you have them.
Any questions?
Madam Chair,
Jeff?
in my reading of this, this is Jeff, it looks like there's a 15-year period where this extraction can happen. Is that the plan?
That is correct. That all mining is concluded by January 1st, 2036, and that all reclamation of the site be completed by December 31st, 2037.
Any other questions for him? I guess not at this time. Is the petitioner here? Will you please come forward and state your name and address?
Good evening, Jim Sokup, 8900 West Lakeside Drive, Sioux Falls. Excuse me. I'll obviously answer any questions. I am fine with the conditions that were put on here, the 23 or 24 if you add that one. Number 11 is the only one that it says topsoil shall remain on site and used in final reclamation. I agree with that except for in the mining area itself will be a lake. I don't want to put topsoil back in the lake. So that would be the only part that if we could state it, any area outside of the, of the water area to receive 6 inches, adequate amount of topsoil, something like that. I would prefer something like that. Otherwise, I'm going to have a lot of excess topsoil because I don't want to put it in the 75-acre area because that'll be underwater at that point. That's the only thing that I can add to this.
Any questions for him? Jeff?
Question from Lukey.
Okay, go ahead.
He cut out there, so I just wanted to know what number 11, what he was stating with water.
It says, number 11 says topsoil shall remain on site and be used in final reclamation. And I am fine with that except for in the water area, which will be a 75-acre body of water similar to what you see on the site maps in the area. Obviously, I don't want to put topsoil back in the new water feature. So I would ask that we could change that to say the areas outside of the water feature to receive adequate topsoil, 6 inches of, whatever you think is appropriate. That's pretty common, 6 inches is.
Okay, go ahead, Jeff. Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Jeff. Will this be a 12-month-a-year operation?
No. We have operations in the area. We always say if we can make it till Thanksgiving, we're real happy. And, this year we're getting an early start, and it looks like about on April 1st is when we're kind of hitting the ground. Might be real minor activity in the winter, but very, very limited.
Anyone else have any questions for him? I guess not at this time. David? David, can you address that item number 11? How you propose to change that? What you would like it to read?
So, David Heinold, condition number 11. I guess the way, I was kind of trying to write it down at the same time. I think the petitioner mentioned something about the 6 inches of topsoil, or I believe it was 6 inches of topsoil, if I recall correctly. So the area that is proposed to be the final reclamation for the water reservoir, if you were to change the wording of it to reflect the request for only using the topsoil in the areas outside of the proposed water areas, whether they end up doing the full 75 or 40 acres of water reservoir, maybe you just keep it at areas outside of proposed water storage areas or something like that,
Okay.
rather than keep putting a
Scott, you
amount.
want to address that?
Yep.
Okay.
Scott Anderson again. I think that maybe just be easiest to have number 11 read as follows.
Okay.
Topsoil shall remain on the site and shall be used in final reclamation on non-water areas.
Perfect. Okay. You want to come forward again, Mr. Sukup? Yep.
Or you can make your own condition.
Sorry, Jim Sokup.
Go ahead.
Again. The problem with that is I'm going to have a lot of excess topsoil. So when you say it shall remain on site, that means all the topsoil shall remain on site. I'm fine leaving all of it on site except for the area in the water feature. I'll have way too much topsoil on this site if I don't do something with it. If I take 75 acres of topsoil and try to spread it out over the rest, it's going to be excessive.
Just put the word enough. Enough topsoil shall remain on the site.
Okay. Is there anyone else that'd like to speak to this item? Any hands raised at all?
Over here.
Oh, sorry. Will you please come forward, ma'am? State your name and address.
Name is Monica Pierce, and I live at 46703 Snowberry Street, Sioux Falls. Just to clarify, the red are the routes that they're going to be extracting and traveling to remove the gravel, is that correct? And I guess.
He's shaking his head no, the petitioner.
So, I guess, is their intent to, when they remove the gravel, are they taking 467th Street past the subdivision?
Okay, is that the question
The
you
west-
have? He'll
yes.
have to address it. You have any more questions for him? Is that the main one?
That's really the main one right now.
Okay. We'll have him come back up and address that, okay?
Jim Sokup. Number 20, no trucks are allowed on 467th Avenue. I knew that was a big concern, and I am totally fine. Our routes are actually going to go to the east, so there will not be traveling along the concerned route.
Okay. Did he address your question, ma'am?
Yes. The question has been addressed. So I guess what is in place to prevent the trucks from going up just to clarify, what's preventing the trucks from coming up 467?
Okay, we'll have to address that.
Jim Sokup, for those that are on Zoom. Couple things. The haul routes are given to us, and our routes are always going into the city. 99% of the time, our work is in the city of Sioux Falls, which is going east. So the quickest route, in order for us to go on 467th, we would actually be doing a lot of backtracking, going out and around. So there's really no reason for it. I certainly could put a sign up saying truck route only. I've done that on my other operations, if that would help. But again, there really is no reason we should be trying to go out, come back around. It would be like going in a big circle almost for us to get right back to where we started in order to go on 467th.
Can I ask you a question quick? Regards to trucking, will it be only your trucks that'll be in this area, or will you contract with other individuals for hauling also?
For the most part, it is typically ours. We do have rented trucks, like we'll hire trucks to haul for us and put them on a designated route with us. So they show up at our shop in the morning, we give them the routes, things like that. That's the way my operations have been done in the past. So we don't retail, if you will.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else care to address this item?
No hands are raised.
Okay. No one else? Commissioners?
Madam Chair, if I may.
Sure. Mike?
You know, it appears we have a pretty good plan in place here. I appreciate the concern from the neighbor, and I think there's some good due diligence done, putting the staff report together with the conditions that were listed. So, and also understand there are a number of gravel pits out there already. I guess I'd make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion, and I would say that there are a lot of gravel pits out there, and there's always trouble on some of the roads there where trucks are going hither and yon. Do our best.
Okay. I have a motion and a second to approve conditional use permit 21-19. On the county side, we'll do a roll call vote. Jeff?
I got a question.
Oh,
Question on that. Is that changing number 11? This is Lukey.
Oh, yes.
To enough to remain on the site to be used in final reclamation on non-water areas?
Yes.
Yes.
That was my intended second.
Did you get your question answered, Larry?
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
Okay. We'll continue. A roll call vote. Jeff?
Aye.
Doug?
Aye.
Sorry, Adam? Mike?
Aye.
Becky? Items have been approved on the county side.
Commissioners, conditional use permit 2119 has been approved on the county side. It has 24 conditions, and number 11 has been revised as stated. Do I have a motion on the city side?
Okay, I'll make the motion for approval. with the-
Mrs. Kidams, I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the city side? Hearing none, we will take a roll call vote. Commissioner Irvin?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kidams?
Yes.
Commissioner Lukey?
Yes.
Commissioner Nicis?
Yes.
Commissioner Paulson?
Yes.
The conditional use permit has passed on the city side.
Approved, you're free to go. Thank you. So move on to item number 5. It's a preliminary subdivision plan, Shatters 4th Edition, to allow re-subdivision of existing Shatters tracts, all in Section 28, Township 102 North, Range 50 West. Petitioners Harlemy, it's 2 miles west of Sioux Falls. It looks like staff report's going to be city planning.
Yeah, Albert Schmidt, City of Sioux Falls Planning and Development Services again. Thanks for having me out here, guys. So this location, you have our typical staff report in front of you here. Just a little background for you. I'll try to keep this quick and moving forward for you. But with any subdivision ordinance in the joint area, it goes through the City of Sioux Falls process, but comes before this board. So that's why we take in the application, we take the fee in, and then we run it through, get comments. So in this instance, we get comments from our city staff, in addition to the county staff. So with that in mind, this is a proposal to kind of expand an existing one out there, not changing the number of eligibilities, just kind of changing the overall size of each lot, and then making it more connected for future development in the area. It's approximately 24.92 acres, currently zoned A1 agriculture, not developed currently. That will continue to happen here soon with approval of this. The next step here after this would be elected official hearing. So we'll do a first reading, then they'll have a second reading for that side. So we've done an analysis on the existing land uses, nothing out there existing, so there's no compatibility issues to be noted at this point in time. And then our standard infrastructure comments were done for the review. We did do agency review comments. Some were brought in first. Since this staff report has been brought in front of you, they have been revised, and there are no outstanding comments at this point in time from any city or county staff members. Again, I promised you a quick staff report. That's my staff report. If you have any questions, I will take it.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Commissioners?
There's no one else to speak on this item?
Oh, sorry. Is there anyone else here to speak to this item? Any hands raised out there, David?
No hands are raised.
Sorry,
I'll volunteer.
go ahead.
Joel Engel with Harlem Development, 5735 East 41st Street. I think Albert summed it up pretty well. It's a pretty simple request. There's 8 platted lots there now. We're going to keep it as 8 platted lots. We're just going to make them a little bit bigger, and going through the process with the preliminary plan, we're just kind of beating down that path. So I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
I guess, Madam Chair,
Go ahead, Adam.
one question. This is Adam Morehauser. The road going in there, the main road, is that gonna be paved or anything like that? Is that, and who will take care of that then?
The development itself, we'll have to set up a road district to actually
Okay.
care for it, but it will be an asphalt road.
It will be,
Mhm.
be kinda like a homeowner association kind of a deal then, just take
Yeah,
care of
we'll-
it to
we're
maintain
gonna,
it?
the preference would be to set it up as a road district.
Okay.
Principle where each of the 8 lot owners would contribute their share of annual expense on that.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions for him?
Madam Chair, I just,
Madam Chair, Paulson, I have one. There was a note in the staff report about a follow-up conversation with the neighbors, and I was wondering if that took place about the Collector Street location.
Yes, it did. This is Joel Engel again. I did talk with, that comment was generated due to the landowner to the south. City engineering staff asked that we have a conversation with them just to make sure that the location we're proposing for this Shatter Avenue didn't conflict with any of their future plans, and it did not.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Anyone else have any questions for him?
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Madam Chair, Doug Odie, I recommend approval of item number 5, the preliminary subdivision plan.
Adam Morehauser, I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and second to approve the preliminary subdivision plan. Any other further comments or questions? Roll call vote. Jeff?
Aye.
Adam?
Aye.
Doug?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Becky?
Aye.
Item has been approved on the county side.
Commissioners, this preliminary subdivision plan has been approved on the county side. Do I have a motion on the city side?
Motion to approve, Johnson.
Second, Lukey.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on this item? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Commissioner Irvin?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kiddams?
Yes.
Commissioner Lukey? Commissioner Nisus? Commissioner Paulson?
Yes.
The preliminary subdivision plan has been approved on the city side.
Thank you. You're free to go if that one was approved. We have no old business.
Madam Chair, I'd like to just address my brothers and sister on the city planning.
Go ahead.
Last month, we went ahead and, on our side, and approved that private airstrip plan. And I know you folks did not approve it. And I heard later that you all wanted to defer it. And I've been on many, many Zoom meetings, and when you're not present in the room, it's very difficult to assert yourself. And I just would encourage you to speak up and raise a little heck if we're rushing too quickly, because we do want to respond and work with you hand in hand.
Thanks, Jeff. Since we have no old business, we have no new business. I'll
Move
entertain-
adjournment.
Randall, second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. Jeff?
Aye.
Adam?
Aye.
Doug?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Becky?
Aye.
Move to adjourn on the county side. City side?
Commissioners, do I have a motion to adjourn on the city side?
Move to adjourn, Johnson.
Second, Lukey.
We have a motion and a second. We'll do a roll call vote. Commissioner Irvin? Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kiddams? Commissioner Lutke?
Yes.
Commissioner Nisus? Commissioner Paulson?
Yes.
We're adjourned on the city side.
Thank you, city planning.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks.
All right, good night.
Okay, we'll start with the County Planning Commission.